Hey guys, this is Midget and welcome to another episode of my Derby career mode. Here we go straight into the game against Cardiff City, and this season is very positive for me. You're going to see why, because this episode has a hell lot of goals, and I just want to say the title is called something along the lines of a lot of things, or stuff like that, because there is so many things in this episode. I just didn't know what to call this episode. It's from scoring a lot of goals to managerial offers to beating Goliath teams. It's just so much things to, thingy. But anyway, in the 24th minute, Shaw manages to not pass it through to Martin, but it doesn't matter because he finds his way through and he scores the first goal of the game. Our left back Luke Shaw, that didn't pretty much his first goal in the Derby shirt. He scores against in the first 25 minutes against Cardiff City, and I find Cardiff a very good team. I always struggle against them, but this episode it was pretty easy. And 5 minutes later, Ings did the exact same thing. He tried to pass it, but he failed, and he ran through and scored. So we double our lead against the Premier League's bottom club at this stage. And I think it's because I've upgraded my team so much that it's so good of a team. Like look at that, look at those shot stats. It's just unbelievable. I think I've upgraded my team so much that I'm actually like a Europa League contending side. But here in the 64th minute, Ings passes a great through ball, over the top to Martin, and he volleys it, and he's not going to miss from there. Chris Martin, now being our best striker, volleys are so easy for him, and he's just there like taking the mick out of the Cardiff people. And also that pass from Ings was just inch perfect, wasn't it? But in the 66th minute, Pinella, the guy I always struggle against, definitely Cardiff's best player, gets through our defence, and I'm again very angry at my defence because they leave the pitch too open. Look at this. How can we not tackle this guy, It's either he's too good or our defence is too weak, but I don't think our defence is too weak. But in the 72nd minute, Martin goes through, Marshall manages to tip the ball into the post, and it has it goes out, but the guy notorious for scoring headers, Eric Diaz, scores an absolute sensational one. It's not directly into the goal. He just what's the word? He not dicks. Dinks it right into the air, and it just goes over the top of Marshall, the Cardiff keeper, and we get our 3-goal lead restored. But a couple of minutes later, I think Bolly passed it to Van der Werf, our scout future star, who hits the crossbar from a cracking effort. Then he gets the ball again. He's a 5-star skiller, sorry, so he's going to have really good skills. And then he shoots again, and Marshall tips the ball again out for a corner. And you won't believe what happens here. I decide to take it short and pass it to Van der Werf to maybe go for his first goal. And no one comes to tackle our, Dutch little 16-year-old. He shoots from right the edge of the area and manages to score an absolute insane goal. And that is his breakthrough, in my opinion, He is such a good player. He's a 5-star skiller. He's like 17 years old and he's a Dutch player. And he got man of the match there. And I decided to put him, for the last couple of minutes, I decided to put him as striker, not cam, because I wanted him to score a goal. And that's how he responded. He scored at least a 20-yarder there, because the penalty area is around 18 yards. So he's got at least an 18-yarder, and that was an absolute insane goal for a 16-year-old, and that's why he's going to be such a good player when he grows up. And here against the game against Arsenal, apparently in my press conference I said Arsenal need to be wary because we're going to come at them full pelt, and I thought that FIFA jinxed it and I was going to lose this game, but so I decided to put on my strongest team, because normally when I play really big teams I don't put on my strongest team because I know I'm going to lose, but this time I put my strongest team when I saw the Arsenal lineup and I was like, I'm definitely going to win this. Okay, they've got Wellington Silva and Bentner. Okay, that's not a great start for them. But they also had the man Giroud. He's not the best defender, but I mean Bentner, come on. And in the 16th minute, we already showed what we wanted to do, which is a win. And Martin just manages to head it a bit wide. But in the 26th minute, Chamberlain passed it through to Rosicky, and he almost catches Legends out because Legends was going forward, but he went for the near post, and Legends manages to save it. You see Legends there being very happy with himself. Again, our defence was a bit too open, but Legends saved us, and in and basically the corner wasn't much good because Mertesacker failed the corner, but Chamberlain almost headed it in, and then Chamberlain almost scored when he got the ball back from, I think that was Bolly, but fired it wide. But in the 38th minute, Ings dispossesses Mertesacker, runs down on goal and finesses it. So the problem we had last year with Arsenal is we couldn't put the ball into the back of the net. This time we didn't have that problem. Ings manages to dispossess, Mertesacker from a really bad... he was having a terrible game, to be honest, Mertesacker, so we capitalised on that. But in the 45th minute, Bryson chips it over to Malander, and Malander on the 180 turn, he slots it into the back of the net. I don't know how he squeezed that in, but it was like he did it while he was turning. It was such a great goal, simply for the fact that, he did a 360, just turned and squeezed in at the near post. And here I show you guys that I wasn't using any sliders, and it's not because that was a good goal, it's just because I thought, 2-0 against Arsenal, you guys might be like a bit suspicious, and I show you here that I used absolutely no sliders. That was just an absolutely insane goal by Junior Malander, and he's already doubled his tally from last year, because he scored, I think, 1 goal last year, and this year he's already scored 2 in like 2 games or whatever it was, 3 games, sorry, because Swansea, Cardiff and Arsenal now, so 2 goals in 3 games for him, and it's such a great player. I can't believe I signed him. But here Arsenal almost get a really weird lead, really weird consolation, but we managed to hold off. Arsenal did dominate us. Yeah, you could say they dominated us, but I decided to accept a loan offer from Watford for James Bailey because he was moaning and he wanted to leave out, but I just wanted to keep some of my players. And here, I think it's Nathan Arke again, but I don't end up getting him because then I realise again that I need who is it that I need? Andre Wisdom, I think it is, that I really need. So I think I end up getting him. Yeah, you're gonna see that I just get my wage budget a bit, and I decide to go for Arke, but I don't end up getting him. So I decide to get Wisdom from my backup right back, because even if he doesn't play a game, even if he doesn't play anything, I still need him, because I only have 1 right back since Kieran Freeman is thingy out. And here I just show you what everyone signed. I think the biggest thing was that Arsenal signed Mayuka for 18 million, which was absolute insane. The Southampton player that doesn't actually play that often. I think he's on loan somewhere. He's just in. He got signed for Arsenal for 18 million, and Mason Bennett said he wants to go next season on a loan or loan soon. But here I decided to sim the game in Capital One Cup against Sheffield United, which we win. And basically, I don't really give a crap about the Capital One Cup. I give a crap about the FA Cup. But here I was looking through their Poland offer and decided to accept it because I think they've got a very interesting team, and like I said last year, guys, when I got the manager offer from Poland, I accepted. In the logo, the thumbnail, how it's got the Derby County logo in, I'm going to put Poland for the Poland, not career mode, matches. So if you don't want to watch them, don't worry, because in the Poland matches, it's like going to just be Poland and everything. So I'm going to, play them. So if you want to watch that, it's going to be the same career mode, but it's just going to be a different logo for, so be sure to check the logo first in the thumbnail. But again, we put up our strongest lineup, but apart from Malander, because he got injured and he's out for 2 months or something from a broken tailbone was Martin, and he's out for 4 months, so that's crap. And I think 2 months Malander, and he's broken something too. But in the 16th minute, Aguero got a header in, and I was like, I wasn't really angry, I was frustrated because how did Aguero get a header? He's 5'7", and yet he won a header against Daniel Carrico. Look at that, Daniel Carrico is so terrible, but I'm going to leave him alone. And Van der Werf, man, just some skills, and almost fires the ball past Joe Hart, the English keeper, the number choice keeper, but he crosses it in, and Daniel Carrico manages to redeem himself with passing it, passing it to the back post of his head, and Johnny Russell, smacks it into the back of net. I thought this was an amazing team goal. I just loved the way that went in. It was absolutely insane. But the halftime stats showed that we should have really been winning, but we held off until the 90th minute. Then Nasri at the post and Aguero finished us off in the 91st minute. I wasn't angry. I guess I was a bit disappointed because I know that City are a better team than me in a way, because they're definitely the title contenders. We're Europa League at best, but just the fact that we could have got something from this game. I wasn't disappointed with the loss because they absolutely owned me, like you see there. But it's the fact that I could have got something out of the game that really disappointed me. But Brian Oviedo then comes and says that he's not happy with his playtime, and you know, I used to like him. You know, Luke Shaw 76 rated at 18 years when he's 24 and 73 rated. I was like, you're not going to get much playtime, dude. You know, you may as well just go. But I decided to put him against this game against Southampton. So Nathaniel Klein and Luke Shaw playing against their former teams, and Oviedo playing on the left mid instead of Jamie Ward. And I was feeling very confident. You know, you wouldn't believe how confident I was in this game. It was just so. I found every single game easy. You know, I literally almost drew to United City. Sorry, so I was like, okay, this isn't going to be much of a problem. And in the 34th minute, Ings passes it through to Bolly. Bolly chips it over, and Ings gets on to it. But he scuffs the shot up. It like bounces. He toe pokes it. It bounces off the ground and manages to just take a swivel into the back of the net. And you know, it makes us get the lead. But look at here. Just look at it if you didn't see it. It's just a little bounce that took it out of the hands from Boruc. And, you know, the half-time stats showed that we should have really been winning. We only had the shots. We had 3 shots. Southampton had 0. But in the 49th minute, a beautiful ball from Van der Werf to Russell. Russell stops and chips it over to Van der Werf. But he takes the man. And Ings goes in and hits the post. And there's an absolutely acrobatic shot. You know, I was intending that to go to Van der Werf. But I think it was Banyama that, you know, pulled him back. But Ings manages to get into that space and do an acrobatic shot into the back of the net that doubles our lead, which is insane. But in the 70th minute, Russell puts an absolutely peach of a ball into Van der Werf, and he's never going to score an easier goal than that. No one was there. All he had to do was finesse it, and a 16-year-old striker, or Cam, whatever you want to call him, is having such a good spell, you know, for a player that's of his age, you know. But that's basically what happens in this episode, guys. If you did enjoy this episode, make sure you give this episode a like. So yeah, this is Midget, and I'm going to see you guys in the next episode, which will be tomorrow, and yeah, so peace out.